Your face.
Now it's start.
Yeah, now it's recording.
Hi,
Yeah.
welcome to back my channel.
Yeah, there you go. Morning, guys. It's 10:47. It's May 15th, and that puts us on day 26 here in Thailand. Cheap bicycle through Thailand. I'm actually just sitting out front of my hostel. I'm trying to be more conscious of what's going on in the background instead of you guys just looking at a wall. I try and put some type of activity in the back. It slips my mind. I don't usually think about it. I just turn on the camera and roll with wherever I'm at. But I'll try and keep that in mind in the future. Yeah, put something more pretty in the background or something. So I extended my stay here for another night. I had a suggestion by one of you guys last night in the comments. Actually, it was on the Telegram board. If you guys aren't on the Telegram board, that's a good way for communicating back and forth with me. As just that way your comments won't ever get buried. Because in YouTube, if you post a comment and then I repost on that, and then you respond to my repost, I don't necessarily get contact. I don't get a notification from YT Studios, YouTube Studios. They just give you the initial first comment that's being posted, but no follow up. So if I start a thread, I have to go in and kind of dig down, and sometimes I lose like one of them. So it's more visible if you jump on Telegram. And if you're worried about privacy, just put in a bunch of fake stuff. Just put in fake name and stuff like that. I've done that most of my time. I think my first Facebook was all fake name, and after eventually, everything, all my accounts were fake names and stuff. But then I realized, who really wants my 50 cents in the bank? No, my identity is not worth stealing. If they did, they would just probably give it back and probably say sorry and maybe give me a few bucks on top of it. But yeah, no, I'm not that important. But anyway, I have a few things to do. This town, I don't know if I should call it Chumphon or I'll just call it Chumphon is such a big area. It's I'll just call it Chumphon for right now. So like I said, he suggested a route, and I think I misunderstood what route he was talking about. I was thinking he meant go westbound on the 4 and follow the west, coast side down to Phuket. But there's some islands on this side, on the east side, that I might do Koh Tao. So it's about 500 to 700 baht to get over to Koh Tao, and then it's less to go from island to island. There's 3 major islands out there, and the accommodation looks pretty good. So what I do actually end up spending on the boat ride there, if I spend a little time, there's some $7 hostels and stuff like that. So that brings down the average $3 per night. So I can make up some of that money if I just stay a little bit longer. And that might be the route I'm going to take. And then when I go through the 3 islands, I'll come back and land south of the coast here, and I can shoot straight across on the, excuse me, that looks like the 401. Sorry, the writing's really small, like the 401, and then I can get over to Phuket that way. And I would only miss a small bit of the coast, right? Because I'm really trying to do the whole coast, but if I veer away, like I did up north in Vietnam. I went out to Taphao Island, and that was awesome. That was the most awesome experience. Just bicycling through Taphao Island, you kind of make a horseshoe and back over and catch the ferry out the island the other way. But so anyway, I'm going to plan out my route a little bit better. I'll hit the spots that was suggested. I'm going to try and hit the 3 islands on this side. I should have no problems bringing my bicycle across. And yeah, I mean, since I have the time to spare, I can do this. So I'm not pushing myself, because like Vietnam was, you know, I barely got out in time, and Cambodia was the same way. You know, it was the last day of my actual visa, because I had to go that extra 70 kilometers out of the way. But yeah. So I'm going to stay here at least an extra day so I can get another SIM card. It's almost expired. Hopefully I can find maybe something with more data, like unlimited data. Paid a little extra, and that way I don't have to worry about always having a good Wi-Fi signal. It'll be worth the money, the extra money I spend on an unlimited SIM card, if I can find one. I don't know if I can. It'll be money I can save on hotel rooms, you know. So, all right, guys. Yeah, and then I also have to do some wash, because my clothes are stinking from the rain, and yeah, it brought out that wet dog smell that everybody loves so much. All right, guys, that's it for this morning's introduction. 6 minutes, not too bad. That was a mouthful. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go do what I need to do today, and then I'll see what I can film. Well, I'm down at the Chumphon, where is that, train yard. Just kind of riding the bicycle around, seeing what's in this town. And actually, there's not, there's not much of anything. I'm not trying to badmouth it. It's just anything that looked like a landmark or something I could go check out. It just wasn't too exciting. So, yeah, I decided I'm just actually riding around on the bicycle. Usually, there's always something down by the railroad tracks. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like there is probably a market sometimes, just not right now. Hurry up. See, there's still like a market, it's just not real busy right now. So. So what I was actually thinking about doing probably tomorrow, since I got it for another night, is it's about 24 kilometers to get to the pier to go out to the islands. I think I'm going to go ahead and head out to the islands, get my bicycle on it. And there's a total, I think, 4 islands to hop. But I'll ride my bicycle down there and catch the evening. The evening is like the evening's like 9. It takes off at 9 p.m. and arrives at 5 a.m. onto the island. I'll put the name of the island down below. I don't remember what it is right off the top of the head. Like I said, I'm just making this up as I go along. But yeah, I kind of maybe put in a little clip of the directions I'm thinking about going. But for right now, I'm just riding my bike around. So I had to go out and get something to eat. I ended up going to 7-Eleven just to get my salad, my chicken salad, and my standard. And I saw the guy with a hamburger stand. I saw him actually yesterday, but they closed the street food thing up, I think around 9. So I just had to, you know, or if the rain hits us, which it just did. That's why everything's wet around here. But we still got a few stragglers hanging in there. Anyway, what I've decided to do was actually start to throw together all those videos that I actually had in my private list on my on YouTube. I'm downloading them back to my device and I'm sticking them through the processing or through the editing. So right now I'm taking all my old footage and actually just slapping it together in one continuous timeline. So that's my project for today. So I don't have a lot of stuff today. Like I said, I went out and got my SIM card, so that got done. I ended up getting my clothes washed and all that stuff. And right now it's just like I decided, well, you know what, I'm gonna get that done. So that when you see my travels to Tennessee, from Hawaii to Tennessee, I don't put in a lot of explanations of the journey and stuff like that. I try and put in some of the definitions that I use, like because I talk very Messianic, very Hebrew roots, which is a combination of like Jewish Hebrew slang type thing. Yeah, kind of. But that's backstory on the video. It's probably going to have to wait more or less. I'm just putting out the video so that everybody can see that journey I did take. For what reason? It was my spiritual journey. You know, I was trying to discover who God was, you know, and I just flew to Hawaii and gave up drinking and stuff like this. And I quit drinking because I had an inclination, well, not an inclination, I conceived as a spiritual intervention or something like that, which to me was supernatural. I'm not going to get in a discussion with you. You know, people could say, well, it's probably just, you know, hallucinations and stuff like this caused by your years of drinking and drug use. And yeah, that's a given, that's a legitimate argument. But to me, it was real enough to actually make me quit drinking and stuff. And after I quit drinking, I decided I needed to figure out who God was, because that's how real He was in my life. So I spent my time in Hawaii. Now that I was separated from my family and disowned from my family, which is another story altogether, because of my lifestyle and because of who I was. When I separated from the drinking and stuff, I lost that touch, the bond that most homeless Hobo travelers have. And so, although I was not isolated, I isolated myself. So that's when the journey of trying to figure out who God was. Now my views, since there's been stated in there, I put a disclaimer. Those are not my views anymore, because you can see that I had that cult mentality already, that I was chasing something with the full intent. Well, I mean, you never think you're joining a cult when you do join a cult. You think you're joining a family. And so I'm packaging this together, but I'm not giving a lot of explanation of the journey and the psychology behind it or anything. You guys can draw up from yourself what you think of it. But yeah, I'm just going to package it together, send it out to you guys, because I know I have had some requests to talk a little more about my my journeys into well, and like I said, I still hesitate to call them a cult. We had a charismatic leader, but the mindset that we were all in caused it to be cultish, and it was a cult. I'm not gonna. It is, but just remember, cult is not always a bad thing. We just have a bad definition of it because of the bad things that happen from it. But it can be it is a very unhealthy mindset when you allow someone else to dictate or, be an authority above you. I mean, we should all respect authority, police officers and stuff like this, but we should not hand over our lives into another person's hands and say, how should I be? We all need to keep that person inside us, that's us, and on a large scale, everybody did over there. It's just we had our leader, our rabbi, our Messianic rabbi, and we all listened to him no matter what. And when you listen to the teachings and stuff like that, after a while, it becomes obvious that all the kind of the check boxes were there. Now, he was a good teacher, nonetheless, and he was exactly what I needed at the time. But since then, I grew out of it, and I grew away from it. And I don't have people chasing me or anything like that, you see, so it's not a bad cult. It's not like a doomsday cult or anything like that. So anyway, I'm going to package that together. It's a project I'm working on. I'll try and get it done tonight, but it's going to take up all the time the rest of tonight, and I might have to skip going to the island tomorrow and just drink one more night just to get everything packaged up and ready to go. That way it's done and over with, and I can get it off my camera and onto YouTube. And yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm not trying to drag this out more than it's supposed to be. Yeah, not much today. I'll throw this out. Just consider this an update. This one's gonna be boring because I didn't do anything. So, all right, guys, peace out, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.